Welcome back to Books with Beck. I'm Beck. Let's talk books.
Fall is finally hitting Atlanta in full force, so come along with me for a full day of fall reading. It is the perfect morning for some fall shopping. I was raised by Anita Ray though, so I know that I'm going cheap first. Before I head to Barnes & Noble, I'm going to go to Goodwill. I probably won't find what I'm looking for at Goodwill, but I always want to just check. You may get lucky, you know? So we're going to go to Goodwill, then I'm going to hit Barnes & Noble. After the Barnes & Noble, I'll head over to All the Tropes and see if I can find that special edition copy. And then I'm hoping to find a good spot to maybe set up in hammock and read today. I really wanted to go to the Chattahoochee coffee shop. It's like right on the river, and they have chairs set up to where you can like view the river, and it's really pretty. They're closed on Saturdays and Sundays, which I feel like is counterproductive for a coffee shop, but I digress. It's fine. However, I'm sitting here in this parking lot because the sun was beautiful right here, and I'm realizing I'm across the street from a nature preserve. So maybe that's where I'll go read today. I don't know. I just want to be outdoors and enjoy a cute, cozy book. So the vibes I'm looking for books today are really cozy, maybe a little witchy, very just fall and Halloween vibes. I do not want anything super like creepy. That's just not what I want in fall. I'm really into the cozy stuff. Last year I read the Secret Society of Irregular Witches, and I actually DNF'd it at the time, but then I read it later and loved it. But that was like the perfect cozy read. So that's the vibe that I'm going for. I'm thinking like 5 books on my to be read for the fall, just so that way I'm not overwhelmed and I can still read other books, but I want to have like at least 5 really cute and cozy fall books. From Goodwill. I was in there about an hour. The book selection was not amazing, but I did see a few good things. If you don't know, I'm a teacher, so I also thrift books every time I'm out for my classroom. I have been searching for one series for over 2 months, and it takes so long to collect series through thrifting, but I now have 3 of the 12 series of unfortunate event books, and I've gotten so lucky. All the copies I've found have been in perfect condition, so I'm excited. I now need 9 more. We'll see if maybe it'll take me the whole year. Maybe by the end of the year I'll be done and have collected all of them. I did get some good clothes in there as well. It was a good little day of shopping. I'm ready to go to Barnes & Noble. I'm ready for some good book selections. Hopefully we can find a good array of fall books so that way we can have an official to be read today. I found the best nature reserve to go sit and read at, but I really wanted to walk around and explore before I really settled down to get started on my book. After quite a bit of deliberation, I have nailed down my fall to be read. I tried to keep it short because I did not want to get to the point where I could not finish the list. I wanted it to be a reasonable list. So there are 6 books on my fall to be read. Number 1, let's start with the obvious, is The Spellshop by Sarah Beth Durst. I picked this book out for my fall to be read in July. There was no questioning it. I didn't even read the cover when I decided I was going to read this. I read the cover today and I'm even more excited, so this has been set in stone. It's fine. Number 2 on the list is the Encyclopedia of Faeries, Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Faeries. And this is by Heather Fawcett. I've never read anything by her before. This book has been trending everywhere. A lot of my friends have read it. It's come highly recommended. So I'm going in blind. I know nothing about this book, but it is coded as a romantasy. So we shall see. Number 3 on my fall to be read is probably the one I'm the most excited about. Number 3 is A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping, and this is by Sungyu Mandana. This author is the same author who wrote The Secret Society of Irregular Witches, and I feel like this book for me is the blueprint for fall reading. So I'm very, very excited about this book. Based on the description, it seems very whimsical and cozy, similar to the other book. So I feel like there's no miss here. Like, it's got to be good. Number 4 on the list. Listen, Linda, I know it before you say it. Just keep the comments to yourself. Number 4 on the list is The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Lori Gilmore. It's it's so predictable. I feel like this is going to be the Hallmark book. But that's what Lori Gilmore's like brand is kind of like Hallmark vibes. So I don't know. It just seems like a cozy, simple read. It is just a basic romance book, and it does seem to be a part of a series. There are 4 books total. The last one is not out yet, but I think there's 3 of them out. I don't know. However, I'm hoping that it's a disconnected series because by no means do I want to read 4 of these cheesy romances, but maybe it'll surprise me. I don't know. It just seems like a simple, basic fall read, so we're going to give it a chance. Number 5 on the list is The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. I just recently read The 7-Year Slip for the first time, and I loved it so much. So I have high hopes for this book. The reason I chose this for the fall to be read is because the main character falls in love with a ghost. I do not know how many ghosts are present in the story or if it's just the one, but I felt like it matched the fall vibes and kind of gave us more of a spooky book on the list because right now everything was romance. So, I mean, this is still romance. Let's be honest. Who am I? But I wanted to kind of put in a little bit more spooky there. Number 6 on the list, this is the last book on the list, is The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. I know. How have I not read this yet? Like, what's wrong with me? Basically, everyone describes this book as ACOTAR, but with vampires. My husband read this book, loved it. My best friend read this book, loved it. Correction, they read the series and loved it. So it is a little bit of a commitment to start a series, but I have been pushing it off for too long. I need to read it, and everyone has loved it, so I don't know why I've waited so long. But I feel like this is just a good fall book with the vampires, and around this time last year is actually when I started A Court of Thorns and Roses, and it got me into fantasy. And I just feel like matching that with fall just makes sense to me. It may not necessarily be a fall book, but it just fits the vibes that I'm wanting. So that's going to be the last one that I read. That way, if I need to read the series, I can jump straight into it and not feel hindered by my list. Honestly, the hard part is finished, so now I get to actually start reading. I am starting with The Spellshop. It's the number 1 thing on my list, so let's go. I was finally able to visit the All the Tropes bookstore here in Atlanta. This is an all romance bookstore, so it was really fun getting to look at not only the books, but also all the book merchandise that they have, and just getting to explore everything as it was so pretty. I also grabbed a copy of The Spellshop. You can tell by the cover why I was so obsessed with this book. I did get the copy with sprayed edges, so I'm super excited to put this in my library. I went ahead and I started the Spellshop, and I am loving it. It is a lot more fantasy than I thought it was going to be. So if you love fantasy, this is a great fall read for you. Honestly, this helped me get into the fall mood so much. So I'm excited. I'm starting to feel the vibes, and I'm just ready to burn through this fall to be read. I will go ahead and do a nail check because I have my fall nails. Technically, they're not fully fall. I'm going to Sabrina Carpenter, so I was like, how do I combine Sabrina and Halloween blood? So I will see you next time on Books with Beck. Love you, bye.
Book Husband here. Like and subscribe. Love you. Bye.